everybody sinned and fell short of the glory of God. He said, but God in his righteousness did not condemn people. Rather, he presented Jesus as the penalty for sin. And he said, it's not just those who are present now. He said, even those who sinned in the past, God presented Jesus as a penalty for their sins, so that those who believe, there will be a just basis for which they are forgiven. Their sins were not just deleted, a price was paid for them. And he said, by so doing, God is justified in forgiving them. You know, those of you who are in Africa here, you understand what happens. If a poor man's child steals, he's stoned to death or he's in prison. But when the child of a politician or a ruler or a king does the same offense that the poor man's child does, you will see that the case will die. And they'll fly that child abroad for 5 years. He will come back and everybody will forget about it. That's what the Bible is saying God did not do. When we sinned as the children of God, God did not just say, they are my children, so they can't die, and deleted the case. No. He said God is righteous. God himself paid the price, so that when he forgives us, it will not be an act of tyranny or subjugation of justice. It will be justice manifested because God did not exonerate his own child from being killed. He paid the price so that when we are forgiven, our forgiveness will be justified. Romans 3, verse 23 to 26. For everyone has sinned. We all fell short of God's glorious standard. Yet God, in his grace, freely makes us right in his sight. He did this through Jesus Christ when he freed us from the penalty for our sins. For God presented Jesus as the sacrifice for sin. People are made right with God when they believe that Jesus sacrificed his life, shedding his blood. This sacrifice shows God was being fair when he held back and did not punish those who sinned in time past. But he was looking ahead and including them in what he would do in the present time. God did this to demonstrate his righteousness, for he himself is fair and just, and he makes sinners right in his sight when they believe in Jesus. Why? Because Jesus is the price. Jesus is the sacrifice. God did not behave like our politicians who would just say, take my son out of that prison and do a charade in public, and even though the price is not paid, they are declared free. In the case of God, a just price was paid. And so the gospel reveals that God is righteous. This is why when you come to God, you can believe in his righteous character. And it's on the strength of his righteous character that he is trustworthy. This is why Paul speaking in Romans 1, verse 16 and 17, he said, I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Christ. It is the power of God unto salvation to them that believe. And in verse 17, he said, herein, in the gospel, he said, is the righteousness of God revealed.